In a span of 10 years, the Redmanizers amassed a total of 13 titles, 6 of that from a pair of Grand Slams in 1976 and 1983. But as early as 1975, the Redmanizers showed flashes of brilliance already as they battled their fiercest rivals.
Just 5-point chain now, 7, as Philip Cesar connects from the right flank.
Crispa had all the weaponry to compete for a title as early as the PBA's maiden season. But the Redmanizers wound up with a pair of runner-up finishes against Toyota, who took home the league's first 2 titles. That put the Comets on the verge of completing the league's first Grand Slam. Yet Crispa played the spoiler's role, copying the season-ending All-Philippine Conference, which set the team's own Grand Slam bid in motion.
No 1975, ready na sila, and you know that this was going to be a rivalry for a very long time. Crispa and Toyota were the 2 most dominating teams talaga sa PBA, and it just so happened that nagpalitan na sila ng championship. Toyota won the first 2 in 75, and then in 1976, masasabi nating naswertehan ng Crispa sa third conference doon sa Philippine Championship na nakuha nila yung championship na yon.
The speed of Fabianza. He is under the basket.
It was pretty much a transition period for them to be able to start dominating the 1976 season. I think one advantage that they had was that they had a very complete core of players. If you notice that their lineup was made up of like 6 superstars minimum or 7 superstars minimum. You had Cesar, Gidaben, Ubalde, Adornado, Soriano, and Fabiosa. And then they had also several very good bench players in that team. So, in terms of bench depth, mas malalim talaga ang Crispa sa Toyota.
Crispa paraded a full arsenal of gunners in 1976, led by scoring machine Bogs Adornado, who won the league's first 2 MVP awards.
Fabiosa, the call. Call from the right foot.
Also headlining that team were future legends Atoy Ko, Bernie Fabiosa,
Shot is no good. Let's watch Gidaben. Yeah, beautiful dunk by Abit.
Abit Gidaben,
Cesar is open. He drives in for 2.
Philip Cesar,
Setting up Ubalde for the layup too.
and Freddy Hubalde.
For Crispa already, you could see that there was a lot of potential already. They had a very young Abit Gidaben na hindi pa nga dominating si Abit Gidaben at the time. They also had one of the best shooters in that time, si Bogs Adornado, meron ka rin kamador na Atoy Ko, you had Bernie Fabiosa, Philip Cesar, yung Freddy Hubalde nga, role player pa nung time na yun.
Puro superstar yung mga nandoon sa kanila, samantalang kami. Ang luma lang namin doon, si Bogs, si Soriano, si Atoy, yun lang yung pinaka-core talaga nung pumasok kami nila, Abet.
Making the Redmanizers a dangerous force to contend with was a coach they called the Maestro, Virgilio Baby Dalupan.
Baby Dalupan has an eye for talent. Nakikita na niya kaagad what he needs on the team, but talagang pinapursue niya yung players na yun. So marami siyang components na hinahabol, and it so happened, nung early 70s, mid-70s, yung grupo na yan ng Crispa, lahat ng ingredients na kailangan niya, nandun na, nakuha na niya lahat ng kailangan niyang pyesa. Plus also the fact na disciplinarian etong si Baby Dalupan.
Pag sa Toyota kalaban, ang nakikita, match up niya. Philip Cesar was a better matchup against Ramon Fernandez. From the defensive perspective naman, si Joy Janicio ang gusto i-match up ni Baby Dalupan kay Sonny Jaworski, while si Chris Calilan was known then as the Arnaiz stopper. Siya yung nagbabantay kay Francis Arnaiz, and these 3 were the most prolific players of Toyota. So it was really a matter of nag-a-adjust talaga si Baby Dalupan depende kung sino yung kalaban ng team.
Another pivotal piece for Crispa was a hulking 6'10" import by the name of Cyrus Mann. Crispa showed its might as early as the 1976 First Conference, finishing the eliminations with a 15-1 record. That near sweep of the preliminaries put the Redmanizers in another collision course with the Comets. And as expected, the rival squads faced off anew in the best-of-5 finals. But the powerhouse Redmanizers simply repeated over the Comets, winning the series 4-1 for their second straight title and first for the season. Crispa continued its winning ways in the second conference, tallying a 12-4 record in the eliminations behind Toyota, which topped the standings with a 14-2 slate. All roads again led to another Crispa-Toyota final showdown. But again, it was the Redmanizers who emerged from the skirmish, chalking up another 3-1 series victory against their bitter rivals. It wasn't all good though, as disaster struck for the Redmanizers during that conference as the sharpshooting Adornado suffered a serious knee injury.
Si Bogs Adornado, actually, he had a tear in his knee. If that happened nowadays, ano lang yan parang MCL tear lang yata yan if I'm not mistaken. That's easily treatable by surgery and then 6 weeks to 3 months, makakabalik ka na dapat sa game. Pero at the time, the technology was not available. So na-sideline nga si Bogs, hindi nga siya makalaro. The ironic thing is, they were giving out the MVP awards in the first conference in 1976. So nakuha pa ni Bogs yung second MVP award niya. Had it been in the third conference like what we do now, yung nag-accumulate na, it should have been Atoy Ko who was the MVP in 1976.
Comets, he tries again, converts this one, as 3-point play for Atoy Ko.
Fortunately for Crispa, the fortune cookie, Fortunato Atoy Ko was more than ready to lead the charge.
You have to remember, nung nagsimula ang Crispa, 1975, actually sa Mika pa lang, going into the PBA, na yung pinikwento pa nga ni Atoy Ko, si Bogs na muna ang gagawa. Pag napagod si Bogs, saka lang kami tutulong. Those were Atoy Ko's words. Now, nawala na si Bogs Adornado ng second conference in 1976. Atoy Ko now had to take over both the shooting and the scoring. You have to remember, those are two different things. Atoy Ko is more of a scorer. He would slash, he would pull up. Si Bogs talaga, shooter talaga, perimeter guy lang talaga. So Atoy Ko's role talaga was now drawing the defense. Ito na palang papalit kay Bogs. Nung nawala si Bogs, ito yung public enemy number 1 na, si Atoy Ko.
I spoke with Atoy Ko actually for that particular spell, how he was able to do that. And he described it at that time, sinasabi niya na ang feeling daw niya sobrang laki raw o sobrang batya daw ng ring nung time na yon na maski anong itira daw niya pumapasok. So alam mo na, nagdo-dominate na siya. No? He was scoring everywhere. His averages were very high and he was very comfortable with the defense being applied against him.
Despite a Bogs Adornado injury in the second conference, Crispa went on to record the PBA's first ever Grand Slam. And after getting a taste of history, Crispa was coiled for another Grand Slam the following year, only to fall short this time. The 1976 All-Philippine Conference was the last title that Crispa needed to win before finally getting the league's first Grand Slam. But the Redmanizers had to get past the same Toyota team that hunted a season sweep in 1975. Toyota swept the 5-team eliminations. Crispa, meanwhile, had to beat Noritake first to arrange another finals meeting with the Silver Tamaros. In the best-of-5 finals, Toyota revved to a 2-0 start, putting the Redmanizers' hope of winning the Grand Slam in great peril. It's like giving Crispa a dose of its own medicine in the 1975 All-Philippine Finals. But just as Toyota came a win away from crushing the Redmanizers' Grand Slam hopes, Atoy Ko happened.
I spoke with Atoy Ko actually for that particular spell, how he was able to do that. And he described it at that time, sinasabi niya na ang feeling daw niya sobrang laki raw o sobrang batya daw ng ring nung time na yon na maski anong itira daw niya pumapasok. It was expected because in game 1, he scored 20 points, just 1 point behind Cyrus Man at Crispa. But in game 2, in another losing cause, Atoy actually scored 41 points. So alam mo na, nagdo-dominate na siya. No? He was scoring everywhere. His averages were very high and he was very comfortable with the defense being applied against him. So from games 3 to 5, he stepped up his games.
The momentum shifted to the Redmanizers in the winner-take-all Game 5. Atoy Ko was fantastic once again, dropping 39 big points in the Grand Slam clinching game to reach basketball immortality. Crispa was also the first to overcome a 0-2 deficit in finals history.
Sabi nga namin nung natalo kami ng 2 sunod, siya na lang. So parang nawawalan na ng loob yung but still, naglaro lang kami ng naaayon dun sa laro. Hindi naman biro yung kalaban namin. Fernandez, Arnaiz, Jaworski, Abby King. Kasi bago lang ata si Abby King noon noong 1976. Malakas din yung bata. So, lahat siyang naghahangad din ng panalo. Yun yung parang nagbigay sa amin ng magandang rapport dun sa team. Kaya nagsunod-sunod yun. Kasi hindi naman namin iniintindi yung Grand Slam nung araw Kahit na kanino mo itanong sa mga kakampi ko nung araw, hindi namin iniisip yun. Basta maglalaro kami para manalo, hindi namin alam kung ano yung Grand Slam, basta alam na namin, champion kami tapos.